Oh, you finally awake, sunshine? Well, get ready for your Bombers game day on BT.
Good morning, Bomber fans! Thank goodness I'm deaf in that ear. Bring it. Come on, what do you got? That all you got?
Just getting you ready for tonight.
I'm ready for tonight. Yeah, we are more ready than anybody else for tonight. First thing we want to do, though, is make sure that everybody understands that we know exactly our Bombers history, because the last time that the Bombers won the Grey Cup was 1990, not 1980. Here's Drew Kozub to apologize. Go ahead.
Say you're sorry, Drew.
Say it.
I'm
Say you're sorry.
The Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame and Museum is a great way to trace the roots of sports in our province, and today, of course, we're focusing on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers as we're getting ready for the big game against the Argos. But let's go back through history a little bit. We want to see some wins this season, so let's go check out the first original win when Winnipeg got their first Grey Cup. To tell us a little bit more about that, I'd like to introduce you to the Sport Heritage Manager at Sport Manitoba. We have Rick Brownlee. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks, Drew.
All right, so let's talk about the team. What was the year, what was the situation when Winnipeg got its first Grey Cup?
Well, it was the Winnipeg Rugby Football Club back then. It wasn't even the Blue Bombers yet. And 1935 was the year, and we were the first team in Western Canada to win the Grey Cup.
That was a pretty big coup. So let's talk about the big event. So Winnipeg got to go in there. We're hoping that it's going to be happening. We're cheering for our team. People traveled very far to get to this game. Where was it happening?
The Grey Cup was held in Toronto traditionally for the longest time. And people would go by train, and they would receive news by telegraph as to what was going on with the score and that sort of thing. And the 35 Winnipegs, they had a great team, and they had the first true superstar in Winnipeg football history was Fritz Hansen, the Golden Ghost. The Golden Ghost,
hey, we got a great photo of this guy. So tell us a little bit about him and why exactly he was called the Golden Ghost.
Well, he was fair blonde, Minnesota boy. Also had the nickname Twinkle Toes, so you could tell he was light on his feet.
Oh,
but
wow.
Here on display there, in addition to Fritzie's picture there, we've got Lou Rosie Edelman's blazer, championship blazer from that 35 team, a uniform from that era. And that wooden football there was actually carved from the goalposts from that game when they beat the Hamilton Tigers in the Grey Cup final.
Wait a minute. That wooden football was carved from the goalposts after the Grey Cup game. How did they get the goalposts?
Pretty normal back in those days after a championship to pull down the goalposts, tear them down like they cut the championship nets in basketball and that sort of thing. Don't get away with that nowadays, but in those days, that's what would have happened. And as I understand it, that was one of 7 footballs that was carved from the goalpost, and I think that's the only one that's left survived.
Wow, so a pretty cool way to be connecting with the sport history of our province right here at the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame and Museum. We got to see some great football stuff, and we have more to come later today, but let's talk in general. What sorts of things can we expect to find when we come down to the museum?
Well, the Decade Galleries, which is part of what we're looking at right now, covers the history of sport in Manitoba from Confederation right on to current day. We have things from the 1896 Victorias, all the way up to a jersey from Desiree Scott from the London Olympic soccer team. So if you're interested in sport, doesn't matter what kind of sport it is, we have it down here at the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame at 145 Pacific.
Great stuff. If you want more information on the hours and the details and all those things you'll find, just go to our website at breakfasttelevision.ca. We have plenty more still to come later this morning from the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, so we'll check in with you later with more stuff for your Bombers home game day. Right now, though, let's check in with Jenna.